Well, this is it, the moment we've all been waiting for. The lights are up, the furniture's out, and all the finishes are in place. We are ready for the client to come on in that door, and it feels so good. I'm Anne-Marie Barton for the reveal. This home is nestled in mountains everywhere you look. We're in Alpine, Utah. We're looking at a home that was made and created for a family of 6. It's about 8,500 square feet. It's intended to be family style, but at the same time, they wanted a touch of modern, elegance, comfort, and of course, organic and natural. So come on in. Of course, we wanted an all-glass front door so we can at all times see the views. That's how this whole house started. Originally, they had another lot in another whole part of Alpine, Utah. Then they found this spot. They saw the mountains and they switched. So here we go. We're all light in this entryway, and you can see all the way through to the top of the mountains in the office, which is just adjacent. The feeling of this hallway and office was everything was going to play into each other. So it folded one to another as you walk through the home. You can see in this office space, it's not that serious. This is where the family comes to do a little homework. The husband does a little work, but never feeling like they're really in a closed room and that they're having to be so serious. We wanted it to be dressed with comforts of home, casual, maybe he'll take a nap on the sofa. It's also the TV space. Say there's something else going on in here instead of the main family room. But again, very open. You can see the ceiling in here. We wanted to bring these ceilings down because they're very tall. So by adding the wood in this, we could bring the warmth to the room, and also note the lighting that we use in the ceiling. These beautiful long steel pockets are how we create a little bit more of a modern feel amongst all that organic wood. The desk is shaped a little bit like a guitar pick. It's rounded and it's comfortable, and you can see the TV straight from here. I always like to add a light fixture when it may not be expected. So rather than in the center of the room, we put the pendant right here. And what a great shape and scale it is for this room. So going back toward the entryway, I want you to see how we addressed doors. As you can see, we have a coat closet here, but I'm hoping with all of the woodwork cladding these walls, you can hardly tell that we've hidden this right here in the hall. We continued all the woodwork all around. This goes to the garage, and this you might check out. This is the powder bath. Quickly turn to the right and you can see the vanity area. The texture of that wall covering, it's a rice paper, and then the artwork adding just that touch of elegance. I love the sink. We took the vessel sink and actually exposed the round. You can see how it bulges out from the countertop itself. The other cool factor is that we mounted the faucetry in stone, which is held within the very tall mirror, which is framed in brass. I love a powder bath to do some talking, because this is where your guests come all the time. It matters. The mudroom is a perfect example of using the 50-50 rule. Yes, it has to deliver function, and it does. You can see all of the cupboards, the area where we can do a key drop. We have more cupboardry, but yet we did it in an artful way, mixing the painted and the stained. On this wall, we decided we would knock it out of the park and do something we've never done before, which is all of these beautiful stone shelves. Now these are made of slab material and it's travertine, but I call this chocolate malt. I love this color and it just blends into the white oak. This might be where you throw your mail. They have 2 entrances into the mudroom, so it's very transient, but it is also an experience because I believe if you're in it, it should look good and function. Looking down this hallway, you can see the repetition of the light fixtures. Those were very important to us. And then it leads you to where we start to see some of the artisan effects in the home. That's one of the themes I went with, more of a craftsman, artisanal side of things in this house. This is a great example of handwork and curiosity. Instead of artwork everywhere, we love looking at this woven art piece. And now we're in the most unique part of this home. And this is what really does equate to the kitchen being the heart of the home. I've never done a home that has that much truth to that very common phrase. We put the kitchen right here in the center. And if you can grasp this, on this side, I have a family room and a dining table. And on this side, I have another family room and a game table or breakfast table. It centers your kitchen right in the space where your family gathers. And as you know, the kitchen really is the new family room. So we really wanted to provide a lot of workspaces. You can see I have 3 islands. I have 2 sinks, lots of dishwashers. And then we thought, what can we do to add up to the volume that we have in this space? It's 25 feet. So when you turn around, you will see how we handled this cooktop hood area. Instead of going with a hood that went all the way up in the kitchen or really called more attention to itself, we thought we would add the monument of this slab material hood because we didn't really want to compete with the range. If you can see the details on this La Cornue, I love the brass mixed with the stainless steel. It just has a pop to it. Now let's talk about the split island. This allows for so much easy flow when lots of people are working in the kitchen. Also, I wanted these countertops to stand out, being a little different than the rest of the slab material in the space. This is all limestone and it's been leathered so it has a texture. You can use limestone in your kitchens and marble, but you have to seal them with this new sealer that is non-penetrable. I love the way it feels, very earthy and organic. Now, my favorite thing about the islands is over this way. As you come around this side of the island, we thought it would be very easy on them to have drawers they could actually remove and take right on over to the dining table. So you can easily set it and then bring it back. So easy to move over to the dining table and set the table right then and there. I love that. Now this is the breakfast table. It could also be a puzzle table. And the other great thing about this floor plan with the kitchen in the middle is when you have a lot of people over for entertaining, you have this table for 6, you have the bar stools, and then the formal dining table. This house is made for entertaining. This breakfast table is right next to the very cozy family room. And we wanted these materials to be really soft, very natural, like these suedes, these darker woods. And you can see the textures on the pillows. This whole area is intended to be very relaxing and comfortable. You're getting cozy and you're watching TV. Now, here's my trick. When I'm working with a television and I really don't want to see it, I think it's best to put it on steel. That way it just blends right in. And you can see here we went with balls rather than logs. I think they're more interesting and also very conducive to the very long modern firebox. Now, this is my favorite slab material. This is called Colmandina. I love the movement. I found myself really drawn to seeing the lines and all of the personality of real stone. It makes me admire the earth. And above all, this house is earthy. So you can see some of that come through in this room. You can see the crystal on the table and the naturalness of this slab material, which is beautiful and has another sense of curiosity to it. Then we've got this beautiful art piece here that is just a really lovely shape, and we have the organic branches. This space feels like I want to hang out, and this is where the family lives. If there's anything we've been talking about over the past 3 or 4 years in design, it is the butler's pantry. We also call it the dirty kitchen. It's the adjacent space near the kitchen, but the supplement. If you're working in a space, I think it should feel delightful to be in. So I look for ways to add that into a space so that we feel good coming in, using it, and feeling welcome into your pantry. Staple of the great room is this monumental fireplace. You can see all the naturalness to this limestone. This is actually something they did in place with what I would call maybe forks or knives to create this wonderful texture in the limestone. And then we like it to land on something. You can see this plate of steel that looks as if it's capturing all of that stone. Once again, we use the balls in both the fireplaces, keeping the theme. But you can see the little bit of upgrade in this area. We have specialty items, color, this artisan wood table, this beautiful backed chair that is very organic and natural and offers a curve, which really breaks things up. As you come a little bit further, you can see this absolutely gorgeous specimen of crystal. And people that know me know that I love a little crystal in every home that I do. It just seems to radiate. And now clients say, am I getting a crystal? And so I say, of course. Adjacent to this space is a homework area. They envision the children working in this area, being a part of this whole open experience. The architect really captured it. The dining room is just in a room along with everything else instead of separated by walls. And you can see outside is absolutely gorgeous surrounding this space. I think, let's see, yeah. I designed a screen here so that I could lower the light when it gets a little bit hot in this territory. But as I've learned from the owner, it's another way to keep the dog from running out. I love the vertical nature of that screen. The uniqueness of the home is really expressed even in the light fixtures. This pendant is insane. I love how long it became over this dining table. It was essential that it really added up and captured an experience within a larger space. I'm hoping you're seeing the touch of the hand in this particular home. We really try to employ artisans that made things, and we're showing a sense of appreciation for those types of pieces throughout the house. The spine of the home is accented by this very long hallway that delivers you by the primary suite. So I decided to dedicate a lot of style to the rugs throughout the space. You can see they shift from design, fluff, And then we go into yet another. All of these rugs are collector's items. They're not repeated, they're one of a kind, and they meant a lot to me. As we come through this glass lantern, this bridge, we can see why they chose this spot instead of the one they had previously bought. Look out this window and you can see this beautiful mountain, and it just never ends around here. Everywhere you look, it's really the beautiful earth. So I needed to accent that and not take away from it. Let's take a look at the stairs as we walk past. You can see the detail. Finally, I was able to do this design. I've been wanting to use this, and these guys were the perfect client. You can see the brass and the steel, and I just love that combination. Again, a little bit of artistry. This painting is ridiculous. This is where it all happens. It had to be big because it delivers all the way from the front door. Come on in. I'm hoping as you enter the primary suite, you can feel this sense of sanctuary, nearly a spa feel. The goal is to have this be your sanctuary. And I've tried to create that through the choices of the wood tones, the drapes, the stone color, everything being relatively soft. We have a collection in here. We've got vintage pieces like this chair and ottoman, which I picked out, I think, yeah, this was in Los Angeles. And I just went ahead and bought it because I knew I would use it somewhere. I love to see the things I've collected find their way into the homes that I do. This piece of crystal, I also purchased a long time ago, waiting for the perfect home. I love how dark it is, which is kind of unusual for me. The painting here on this fireplace had to add up in texture because it's against all of that stone. And the drapes were essential to soften. We are a house of glass. There does need to be privacy, and we have blinds hidden in the ceiling. You can see that this is what we would call a dropped cloud ceiling so that I can hide all of the goods up into that crevice. It's an important quality so we don't have to see where you house your blinds. Now, let's talk about the beautiful headboard wall. What I love is the texture of this reeded material, and yet I love the absence of it and making a place for the two pendants to live. They're accepted by this brass vertical area here. This is what I mean when I say artisan. We're doing things that cause an element of, wow, I haven't seen that before. And that's what I'm always looking for. These are custom bedside tables where we implemented the stone material and of course the beautiful brass on the handles. I almost always have to do a custom bedside table because we're putting in plugs on the sides of the bedside just to make it easy living. You can see the bedding is very simple. We're not looking for a lot of color. We're just looking for texture. Over on this side, we have a desk. You can see how soft and simple this is. And yet, they'll treat it more like a writing table. But I love this all leather top that comes all the way in waterfalls down the sides. We have a beautiful piece of art that is actually, of course, a landscape. And in the winter, which is coming up, it'll look a lot like that. I love the essence of this lavender, which you can see repeated throughout this bedroom. Now moving toward the primary bathroom, I wanted the door to be unique. You can see how we used the steel, and this looks almost to be a blush color, but it's actually sandblasted bronze glass. I love the cool factor and the surprise of that. This way is the wardrobe closet. Just like the mudroom, we spend time in our closet, and it needs to be practical, but also beautiful. I always love an island that I can pack my clothes on. I guess I travel a lot. But also we have drawers on either side, so it's his and hers. And then why not have a piece of art even in your closet? This bathroom is entirely about the views. We wanted everything else to be quiet textures, but not color. Nothing to take away at the outdoors. Okay, this shower is qualified to be a gourmet shower. We have the rainfall, 2 regular shower heads, a handheld, a bench, steam unit. Anyway, it's too much. It's gorgeous. Also, the tub area, we tried to residentialize the bathroom by putting a chair in it. And also we have the beautiful 72-inch bathtub because the owners are tall. I look forward to seeing a little bit brass on the tub fill, and that just gives it a little pop. But now let's look at the vanity. It is long and lean. You can see we've got 2 integrated sinks. Look at this. It just rolls right from the countertop in, and then a slit for the drain. Beautiful brass faucetry, and then the drawers everywhere. These have no hardware because they are finger pulls. This allows us to just be very quiet instead of applying hardware. Could you imagine? It would be everywhere. Right outside the bathroom is this patio, and it's fall around here, and you can see it in the trees on these mountains. We have lots of building going on in the area. It's almost done here. We're just about to fill the pool. It's a beautiful backyard meant for a family to enjoy. Now back in the interior of the home, we can go downstairs and see all of the kids' bedrooms. But on our way down, I want you to see one of my favorite lights. It is so interesting. The balls are nestled into the brass, and at night it just twinkles from outside. After you come down the stairs, you've got to deal with this space left under the beautiful open staircase. So I chose to use a chaise lounge to try to create the sense of a reading nook. I love the details of the wood, the suede, and again, the boucle. You can see this artisan table. This is the kind of stuff that I was collecting for several years before we actually moved into the house. Also, I love to layer rugs. You can see that here. We have this more playful rug with the blues, and then we threw in the hide. Layering makes it a little more interesting, and it adds to the texture. This is the daughter that loves to read, so we did a very big filled-in bookcase. She's probably read all of these books. Coming into this space, their daughter was given the opportunity to pick her own wall covering. I love that she went with the blue and the clouds. I love this female art that we have here, this charcoal painting. And as we come over here, this is made for her daughter to sit and read comfortably. And again, the artwork really helps tell the story. Not a typical Jack and Jill bathroom, but definitely a Jill and Jill bathroom. This is going to serve both of the girls in the space. You can see we made it a lot more feminine. We went for all of the reeded texture here, and these are file pulls that I love. Also, we decided to go with marble in here, again, choosing to be a little more feminine. This is the shower area here, and you can kind of see the cool tile that the girls picked for the back wall accent. It has a lot of texture and just a hint of pink. The other vanity is just the same. It repeats twice. I kind of liked that. And then we have this bedroom. Take a look at the collage wall. It's so cool. Here's a little short story about this wall. It was the daughter's wish to have a collage wall of photographs. So she brought to me what it is she wanted, and it just happened to be my daughter Tessa's collage kit. So I gladly put it all over the wall, and then as an element of surprise, her mother suggested we mix in photos of this cute girl. So you can see pictures of her when she was young mixed in to the collage wall. This is really fun. I love this wallpaper. This is called Wabi Sabi because it is made of rice paper, very natural, very subtle. And you can kind of see the concepts in this space. Once again, the girls picked their own bedrooms. And I love this twin bed. Actually, it's a full bed, but it's small in the space, and yet we still could do a canopy for her. can see the boys' room, the only boy. And it really feels good and masculine. We've got blacks, we've got dark greens. Come on in and you can see some of the curiosities. This lamp, for instance, I probably grabbed that 2 years ago, knowing it would find a home, and it did. This is all old newspaper creating this wall covering. And this son loves this bed. I've come over several times and it always looks this good. And now we have the cozy, beautiful beanbag chairs. They have come a long way. Well, that is the tour of this home in Alpine, Utah that I think radiates family, entertaining, and a huge indoor-outdoor connection. I wanted this to feel warm, comfortable, cool, organic, and modern. I'm Anne-Marie Barton for The Reveal.